Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for a special post-show, a WWE TLC post-show. I'll break it down with Brian H. Be honest with you, I recorded the show, and guess what? For some reason, there were some issues. But shout out to my good brother D, who was joining me. D, Demarus of the Flex Zone, allowed me to re-record. So you'll get the show, you'll get the post-show. Get ready after this music. Brought to you by my cousin, Hypno Beats.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just going to keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Wrealm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. I'm your host, Brian H. Waters. This show is brought to you by the Wrestling Wrealm, and I am joined by my good brother of the Flex Zone, Demarus Die, also the host of Die Sporting Net. D, what's going on, man?
Brian, what's going on tonight, brother?
Well, technical difficulties. I break the fourth wall down often on here. So we recorded this, and then technology wanted to get in the way and try to be determined. But, so I break kayfabe and say, you will not win this battle.
No, daddy, the dream. And to break it down, we're going to get it on tonight, daddy.
All right, well, so let's get right into it. D, we saw Asuka be crowned the new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. What does this mean, and what's next for Asuka?
Hey, man, I'm happy for Asuka, happy for all three women. Hopefully Asuka next, her Mandy Rose or Shayna Baszler get it going and go from there. WrestleMania, I guess we building to either her or Naomi.
Okay.
I know you would love that.
Well, here's the thing, D. I don't want to see Naomi as a heel. But maybe you bring out a cocky side of Asuka, or maybe you make it a friendly competitive match, a friendly competition. But I'm just not ready to see Asuka as a heel, man. I mean, Naomi as a heel. Not sure if Asuka can pull it off, being that she won't talk. But maybe she could become the cocky heel that we kind of started to see her become in NXT.
Yeah, I think she can pull it off right now a little better than Nakamura can.
Okay.
Ember Moon and Asuka too. Maybe you might make a little switch on Raw, perhaps, and get Ember over to SmackDown.
I was thinking about that as well. You brought Nakamura, man. Here's the thing. I don't blame him. I blame the fact that we don't have single pay-per-views. Nakamura is one of those people that's being highly affected.
Big time.
It's just not, it's not enough room. So people like him, people like Shelton Benjamin, people like even Sasha and Bayley aren't getting those opportunities to be on pay-per-views and have prominent storylines built for them.
Yeah, and speaking of Sasha and Bayley, we've seen the other two horsewomen get it done tonight with Charlotte and Becky Lynch. I'm hoping Bayley and Sasha has something, tag belts, something coming along the line here.
Well, they got to do more than wrestle. You know what I mean?
It's
no
true.
Offense to them. They're great at what they do, but they got to give us more than wrestling, and hopefully we will see them on, maybe we'll see them in a tag team situation. But I need more than just, hey, I love you, you love me, or hey, you're not my friend, I'm not your friend. But let's move on to the Raw Women's Championship. Ronda Rousey, who will get involved in that match. Obviously, she got involved in the SmackDown Live Women's match. This is after, of course, she had retained her title against Nia Jax. D, are we getting a triple threat match, or are we getting Becky and Ronda straight up?
I want the triple threat between Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Ronda Rousey. It would tear the house down at WrestleMania 35 in Jersey. I think Jim Ross said on his podcast this week, I think the women right now, the hottest thing going, and they should main event WrestleMania, and that's the match that would do it.
I think so, but I just don't think Charlotte needs to be in there, man. To me, it's like, You know, when they threw the Big Show in the mix between The Rock and Triple H, and then they threw Mick Foley in there. It was just too many cooks in the kitchen. That WrestleMania 2000 or 16 should have been The Rock versus Triple H for the WWE Championship with The Rock going over. You know, and I think this should be Charlotte and Ronda Rousey for the title. Let Becky have her moment, and I hope that Becky wins. Now, therefore, I think we're gonna see Becky win the Royal Rumble.
I think we see Cold War Rumble winners, just like we seen in 1994 with Bret Hart and the late British Bulldog, and do it like that, and then both of them say we want Ronda Rousey.
Okay. So that would be interesting. Let's move on, man. We also saw Ruby Riott fall to Natalya. Natalya finally getting her just due, getting it done, defeating Ruby Riott, man. What would you think about that?
I enjoyed that match too. Natalya getting all three Riott Squad members onto the table separately. I enjoyed the fact that in that end we seen the good guy win, honoring her dad, and up above, Jim Neidhart still getting one more run.
Yeah, man, I thought that was interesting. We saw a lot of people complaining about this whole story. And, you know, like I tell people time and time again, she's a wrestler. This probably was therapeutic for her. She may have needed this more than people thought, you know. Maybe it wasn't so much WWE's forcing her to do that. Instead, it's like, you know what? This is her way of grieving, you know. Everybody can't grieve sitting at home.
Right.
You know, and you know, this also allowed people to kind of see, and more people offer their support. So I thought this was good right there. Let's move on, man. Daniel Bryan, still your WWE champion. The new Daniel Bryan. And you know I gotta tell the people, because I got you right here. So folks, a lot of people saw me constantly putting yeses, saw me putting Daniel Bryan was WWE champion. The man on this show right now, the great Demarus, is the reason that I did that, because after Daniel Bryan made his retirement speech, D just thought it was so cool to just constantly remind me that my favorite wrestler of all time was retired. Care to defend us?
Daniel Bryan showed you all that the Yes movement was dead. He said it himself. It's dead. And the new Daniel Bryan confirmed to me that I was right all along. That's right. I was right. And I appreciate the new Daniel Bryan. I like the old one too, but I really like the new Daniel Bryan. I like the wrestling style. Might be the American Dragon form of him back in Ring of Honor back in the day. And now, as we cut you off, Brian, but as we say, what's next for the new Daniel Bryan?
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens, man. One of the things is, as I sit back and I look at the book, I got to give a shout out to my former manager, ESPN, Steve Brabant, who politely gifted me the Yes book. I think about that time, and afterwards, really just wanting that run, people said, and you may remember, people said it mimicked Chris Benoit's run. He won the title at WrestleMania in a triple threat match at Divisible of 10, 20, it was WrestleMania 30. His first opponent at Backlash, or in Daniel Bryan's case, Extreme Rules, was Kane. Thank God there was a twist in there. Now, I remember just wanting, and you know what? Now, the more I think about it, who knows? Maybe that run would have been stale. I just the first time I really have thought about it. But maybe, Chris, when you think about Chris Benoit's run, what do you remember?
Oh wow, yeah. And you know what's funny? Another parallel on that was Randy Orton. He beat Benoit for the belt. Daniel Bryan beat, Randy Orton and Batista, of course, to win it.
But you know what? Here's another parallel. Because that was a time, if I'm not mistaken, when Benoit was champion, that was around the time Evolution was being created.
True.
Right?
True.
And then this is the time that the Shield had broken up. And we knew when that happened, that was going to be the hottest thing. I would like to believe that the Shield breaking up probably was still going to happen. Maybe it wasn't. But I just think that Daniel Bryan, his run may have gotten stale, but this one I don't see it getting stale, and I see him going to WrestleMania. Just who his opponent will be, only time will tell.
Yeah, this is true, man. A lot of people were saying the Miz. I don't want to see a babyface Miz. I like the Miz Daniel Bryan dynamic that was on Miz TV a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't want to see a face Miz, but I want to see them go at it again in the ring. And who knows? Shout out to my boy Blake. We were sitting here talking. For all we know, WWE could call John Cena.
Hey. Let me say this, Brian. I had this in my mind. I think I told one of my Flex Zone partners, Roger, this idea.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Bryan, John Cena. John Cena comes back as Daniel Bryan. Hey, what's going on, man? What's wrong with you? Daniel Bryan all of a sudden says, how about my sister-in-law? And then just like he smacked Mr. Ali, wow, get John Cena a good smacking. But Cena ain't going to stand for him.
Yeah.
Then those two come down the line with each other.
D, you might be onto something right there. you might be onto something. I think that would be phenomenal. No pun intended. So who knows? But let's move forward. We ain't gonna run down the whole card tonight, but we'll definitely touch on some of the key things that's happened. And one of the things is we have a brand new Intercontinental Champion, and that is Dean Ambrose. D, is this championship more about Seth Rollins losing the title, or is it more about Dean Ambrose winning it?
Things are 50-50 down the middle. It's about Seth definitely getting the Intercontinental belt off of him, going on, as they say, the big and better things, but also gives the IC belt a new life for Dean. Since he's a heel now, we can get more fresher matchups. Hopefully it's not Ziggler, Job Dust, as I like to call him, and Ambrose. Hopefully it's Finn Balor. Hopefully Apollo Crews maybe can have a smell at the belt. Elias, I always said Elias should have been the Intercontinental Champion a while back anyway.
Yeah, he looks like one, and not just because he favors Macho Man, but I just feel like he would do that title justice. But I think it would have been better with him as a heel. I'm still trying to buy Elias as a face, but that dude was a natural heat seeker, man. I mean, that night when he went into Seattle and brought up the Supersonics, that was heat.
Hey, I say this. It'd be good to see when Kevin Owens can come back, man, how he can fit in the dynamic of everything.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he'll be back soon because, Kevin Owens will find a way. I ain't even worried about that. I think we know that, he's a pro, so he'll find a way to get it done. I also wanted to touch on Drew McIntyre, man. Does this loss hurt him to Finn Balor?
I don't think it does. He got protected a little bit with Ziggler coming out there, kind of helping Finn Balor out and defend it and appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And Ziggler attacked him, so I think it helps everybody. It helps Ziggler not become just a straight up babyface because he's not that great at that.
Right.
He can kind of be the tweener, kind of give McIntyre, he's a heel, the excuse. Hey, I would have beat you if what you call it didn't interfere.
Yep. That's true. And then, let's round it off as we get ready to close up. Man, appreciate you joining. But I got to ask you, man, Braun Strowman is officially going to the Royal Rumble, and he's going to get a third opportunity to face Brock Lesnar one-on-one for the WWE Universal Championship.
I'm hoping the third time's a charm. We need that belt back on television. We need some stars to be made, and that belt is the main belt for Monday Night Quail, and we need it to be the Kool-Aid of the show again.
I think I would have been fine, right, if the title would have been, all right, it's going to be gone. That's one thing, right? Cool, whatever. But the fact that the title's gone and it's not even being mentioned,
Right.
it's one thing. It's like, okay, we're chasing it, and you're here, I'm here. We're trying to get that title and we're trying to bring it back to Raw every Monday, but it's not even there, And I think with Seth Rollins constantly running his mouth to Lesnar ever since last year, I think that's what makes me say maybe they're going to go with Seth instead. But then again, it's like Braun going to lose a title match again.
Right, man. I mean, if you want to build them as that Big Show Undertaker character, they didn't consistently lose when they got a title shot, man. They might have faltered maybe the first or second time, but they got it. They got it soon after, man. Mm-hmm. I think the Undertaker got it right away.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, let's get ready. I'm going to close it up, man. Tell the people where they can find you, D.
Of course, they can find the Twitter at Sporting Net. Facebook, we have our official Facebook page now, Sporting Network, and Instagram, Sporting Net, and of course, all the Flex Zone platforms, the Flex Zone One, giving you sports how you want it, when you need it, every Monday night, 10 p.m. on Facebook Live, Flex Zone channel, and the WBGR channel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is D. Make sure you check out the Flex Zone this Monday, because I know I will. And if I don't catch it live, of course, I know I can go right on YouTube and watch it like I do every Tuesday. I got my podcast lined up. The Flex Zone's definitely in the rotation, especially after today's football game. I'll be interested to hear what they got to say, because I know one thing Dre will not be screaming, and that's how about them Cowboys. But I'm definitely interested to hear y'all talk about the Ravens and the Steelers both winning their games and staying afloat in the AFC North race. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in. This is give you a quick rundown. So, this week, you're getting, you should be made if you haven't. Check out this week's episode of Wrestling for the Culture on youtube.com/The Wrestling Realm. Then make sure after you download the show, get ready for this week's episode. This is the final taping for this year's episode of Break It Down with Brian H., as I will get ready to take a 2-week vacation. But don't worry, there will be content. There will be a best of Break It Down with Brian H., compiling some of the best moments from every episode. And then, of course, I'm going to give you a Brian H. top year in review, some of my favorite moments that's happened in 2018. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's D from the Flex Zone. I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody.